If the city gives the go-ahead, that corner right there will be home to a mammoth skyscraper, second only in height to our city's signature landmark, the CN Tower. What would you think about an 80-story building at this corner?
Look at the one over here, so I don't know. It's pretty high, but I guess you're not going to stop it anyways.
The old 4-story Strollerys building has sat at this corner for more than 100 years. This is what developer Sam Mizrahi wants to build there instead. It's been dubbed the One, and if it goes ahead as pictured here, the condo tower will be 80 stories high. The only building in Canada that would stand taller is the CN Tower. This is one of the city's landmark corners, and it's right on prime real estate here at Yonge and Bloor. I'm told it's one of the few corners that would actually be considered to accommodate an 80-story building. What would you think about the second tallest building in the country going right on that corner?
That is not practical.
Not practical?
No.
Why not?
Oh, look at the space. There's not enough space for that.
The proposal got a lukewarm response from many of the people we spoke to at the corner of Yonge and Bloor, but the Toronto Star's urban affairs columnist has a different perspective.
Given the fact that it's a piece of architecture by one of the best in the world, Norman Foster, I have very high hopes.
Is this the way the city is going to go? Are we going to see more and more Uber towers?
We are, but you know, to me it makes sense. The Yonge and Bloor, you've got the Bloor subway, the Yonge subway. Where do you put the density? The obvious place is a corner like that. By building up, you know, you don't have to spread out.
Do you miss the old building that was there?
No, it was ugly.
Nancy doesn't like the idea of a big tower on the corner. There's already another one under construction across the street. But she just might be won over by the architect's design we showed her.
That's not bad.
Think you could like that one? Would it grow on you?
Maybe.
There's no telling yet if the city will allow an 80-story building. It's fairly common for plans to be scaled back. Take the Frank Gehry site on King. But to put it all in perspective, 80 stories doesn't even come close to the world's tallest building. Dubai's Burj Khalifa is a staggering 163 stories high. Now, this development still needs to go before the city for approval, and the plans haven't even been submitted yet. But there's no doubt that this area is going up, way up. Andrea Puno with more on that.
What words come to mind when you think of this intersection?
Pain in the rear.
Crowded, busy, congested.
Really disappointment. Yeah, I'm disappointed.
It's considered one of Toronto's landmark intersections and has been since the subway rolled into Yonge and Bloor back in the 50s. But today, some say this corridor has lost its luster.
It was also at one time the northern end of our city. I mean, that was the outskirts was Yonge and Bloor. I mean, it's only been in the last 100 years or so that has come to be. We have an opportunity to make that, you know, the face of Toronto.
Today, much of this stretch has become a construction zone and the future home for more skyscrapers. For now, this is Canada's largest single residential tower, standing nearly 900 feet high, Aura at the corner of Yonge and Gerrard. Many others are set to go up as well, but the future of Yonge Street could look more like Fifth Avenue in New York, filled with high rises, wide sidewalks, and tons of retail space.
In the 80s and 90s, Yonge Street was a more prominent area, and I think these condos will bring back better businesses.
The revitalization of Yonge Street also means many long-standing businesses like this one are slated for demolition.
We're going to be moving down the street. I mean, there still is a lot of foot traffic, definitely, but with the construction everywhere, I have noticed a bit of a change.
The entire landscape of Yonge is changing, with a number of high-rise towers over 50 stories popping up in the city's downtown core. But demolition and new construction means many of Toronto's historical buildings will virtually be erased from the city's landscape.
It's a real shame. I mean, we could have looked like Barcelona and Paris, Rome, Venice, but you know, we're a modern city, we're a clean city, we're a safe city.
For a more in-depth look at Toronto's historic Yonge Street, you can head over to our website, citynews.ca, click on FYI. At Yonge and Bloor, Andrea Puno, City News.